Moving forward, next we have is the offense management. So offense management, a recap that we wanted to give is like, so any record that loses its pair, we are actually sending out a final update to the paired record. Like you can go and update a comment, or you can update a status, or and if it gets back into the system, we establish the pair again, and the synchronization continues. There was a limitation that we had till 3.8 is like we were able to only scan or identify orphans record for the last 1 year of data. We have customers who belong to us for a lot of time, right? They may be like 5 years with us or 3 years with us. So we want the provision for them to go ahead and scan the last few couple of years of record. We didn't do this in our last PI, just with the, we don't want to have any type of performance issues, any type of rate limiting on the end applications when we scan whole lot of data. So now we have opened it up. We did a performance test on our end to see how ConnectALL well is being able to handle the situation. And we have gone ahead and implemented this wherein you can scan for the last 10 years of record. It is not all record. We'll be able to scan the past 10 year of record, and this will have an impact on the stress that we are putting on the end system. We have given a threshold limit on the number of records that ConnectALL will scan without any issues. And if you see that the threshold is going beyond what we are actually seeing, we request you to change the sync. Um, so the way we have is like we have a property in our connectall.property file. We are setting up a threshold limit. We have set the threshold limit as 200,000 for now. This is basically after we have seen the performance, we are able to scan 200,000 in a 24-hour scan without any issues. This is basically the number of paired records per automation. So it's not per instance, it's per automation. If there are like 200,000 records, we'll be able to scan that number of records and identify if it is orphans. If we see that the threshold that we have set in the property file and what our database says or our record map says, we are giving some toaster messages when you try to modify an automation, or we are also trying to send an alarm and an email. So you can go ahead and give the schedule time a little longer. So today, if you set it for 24 hours and you have a limited threshold, we give you these warnings, and we request the customers to go ahead and increase the schedule, right, from 24 hours, move to 1 week. So if you have a larger number of record, have a 1 week schedule. So every week it'll run that, and it'll identify if there is orphaned record available, and it'll do the necessary actions. So on the UI, what we see is like, so today for an existing automations, if you are already an orphaned automation has been created for any existing automations, you will still see this 3 months and 1 year, which will continue to synchronize for 3 months as the user is not going and making that change. But if you want, you can go and edit your automations. You can remove these two schedule. You can set your own schedule. I'll show you how it looks like. Or you can add another schedule. So for example, you can add any number of schedules. So for the last 3 months data, you wanted to run it in shorter period of time. For the last 1 year data, you say that, okay, I need to run it in alternative days. For the last 10 years data, I don't mind, do a slow process. I can set the schedule as a week schedule. So these are the recommendations that we can give to the customer. And when you create a new automations, basically, so the automation schedule will be blank like this. You can go ahead and set the schedule like, do you want it daily, or you wanted to have it weekly, monthly? That schedule can be set in there. You have to give a name for each schedule, because you can have multiple schedules and the name is going to be mandatory and unique. You can ignore the description. It's like if you want to put some description what each schedule is doing, you can do that. And then you can set the sync schedule, the sync period, and finally the actions that you wanted. You can create one, keep it not used, you can come back and toggle it, but at least one schedule should be there for the orphans to get enabled. And the schedules, you can set it as said, like you can have a daily schedule which runs every day, or every Monday, every Tuesday, you can do that. You can set it as weekly, you can set 1 month, I can run it 1 year, I can. And as said, the sync period we have given is up to 10 years. You can scan records up to the last 10 years. So this is how it will look like when you create a new automations. Basically, this threshold will not come. The threshold will only come when you run into your automation continues to run, your sync continues to run, and then the pair record gets. And once the threshold is reached, when you try to modify the automations, we'll throw up this warning message. Will not stop you from not creating it. It's just a warning message. We are alerting the customer that this may create a trouble. You have to go and increase your sync schedule. So we'll give that option. If they are not setting it, probably they may see failures that's happening or rate limiting that is happening when large number of data is there. An email, we'll be sending it out, like when it reaches, ConnectALL will know from the record map table that it has reached the threshold. When it goes beyond the threshold, or when it is running the next the orphan sync job, we'll actually trigger out an email as well as an alarm. I can quickly show the demo on how this looks like. So I have an orphan set. You can, this I just created for the demo, and we'll be able to set the sync schedule like you wanted to run it, however you wanted to run it. We have followed probably the same process that we have on our automation sync. It's the same type of schedule that we have brought in here. If you want to run it like at a specified time on a day, that you can do it in here. And if you wanted to do it like every week, you can go ahead and set which day of the week that you want and when do you want it. Every month, you can go ahead and set it in here. And the sync period, basically this was one of the requirement that we wanted to bring in. Like, we wanted to put up the message in here telling that how is a record considered to be, identified to be to run the scan or not. It's based on the last updated timestamp by the end application. We wanted to give that information up there. And if you see in here, you have the sync period where you can, set it like if you want it as month, you can set it from 1 to 12 months, like every only the last 1 month record I need, or only last 12-month record I need, you can go ahead and set it here. If you want to go and set it for a very large duration, you can set it here. Predominantly, we are seeing our customers who says that they are only caring about the last 3 or 4 years of record. So and they don't want to really bombard their systems heavier. So you can go and give a realistic number, apply it, and it will scan the last 10 years of record. And anytime the threshold limit crosses, when somebody edits in here, you will be able to see this type of warning messages, because usually people don't get into the automations once it's created. So that's the reason why we are sending out an email, as well as a alarm will be raised when ConnectALL, when it's doing the next orphaned process. When ConnectALL identifies that the number of records is more than what you have mentioned in the threshold, we'll shoot out that email and alarm. Thank you.